Hey everybody, this is David. Um, you know, I, I'm first of all, I'm not gonna drink, but I wanted to give a perspective of this is what this is the ugliest side of addiction. This is why among the many reasons of what makes addiction and alcoholism so ugly, is that there's some things going on right now that make me want to drink, and um it would be the worst thing to do. Like for full disclosure, someone that I care about deeply is truly struggling right now, which is not new, you know. And then something as simple as like grandma falling, just is like it's bad enough, but it's just like a saddening thing, and it just caught me at a bad time, and like my first instinct is to drink, and that would just make things worse. It would make me completely useless to the person that needs help, completely useless to my grandma, and any sort of crisis that comes up, I would be worse. Let's say if I got fired or something, not for drinking, but if I did, and my first instinct is to drink, or if I got dumped, first instinct is to drink. Makes me so not only incapable of resolving the crisis, but actually making it much worse. And then on top of that, so let's say as I'm doing right now, I'm holding off on that urge. Then you're still stuck with this shame that you feel, because it's like, oh my God, that's what you want to do. Like your grandma is in deep pain, and it makes you sad, and a person that you love dearly is struggling mightily, and this is what you want to do to pacify your pain, to find reprieve. That's self-talk. I don't choose to feel these things, but that's what you feel. So you're just left with, like, even if you do the right thing, which I'm doing right now, not drinking, you're still left with this sense of like you feel like shit. And there's a part of me, there's a victory in this. And I will reach out to somebody after this. Actually, I wanted to live stream this, not to just be all drama queen about it, but I just was interested in live streaming. Apparently, I have to have my account verified for like 24 hours in advance, so I couldn't do that. I don't even know if I did live stream, I don't know what I'd even do. Just be like, hey, what's up? What are you guys doing? I'm not drinking, but are you also not drinking? Or if you are drinking, that's cool. Probably don't. Ask me too many questions. Or actually ask me questions if you are, as long as you're not like super wasted. That's one thing about my channel that I want to make completely clear, is that this is, no channel about recovery should be passing judgment anyways, but I am not a guru. I'm not a wise sage master person giving advice. If anything, I want to imbibe the sense that I'm in the trenches with you if you are as well too. I don't have this thing down. I don't think, people say you never have it fully down or cured or of it, but people certainly got a handle on it, obviously. People with a long term of sobriety and experience. But, I'm a person I'm not that. I'm still figuring this shit out. I just like to relay the experience, because I know people find comfort in that. And this experience right now of just shit's not going well, first thing I want to do is drink, and it's just like, why? But it comes back to that thing of like, man, David, you're asking questions to something that never has made sense from day one. Nothing about alcoholism, nothing about addiction makes any sort of sense. So if you try to there's certain times too where, it's good to make pros and cons lists and stuff, but sometimes I find that pointless. Because in a certain sense, it's like, man, we're trying to use logic and reason to something that never used it in the first place. I think the better way, and just in my opinion, which, as I'm saying right now, I'm the person who's struggling, so take it for what it's worth, but I would think that a better route to go is just to go with routes of reaching out for help and empathy towards yourself and loving kindness and things like that. Maybe if you have a little bit more control over your mental and emotional facilities, it can work. or it does, obviously. People think about their kids and that keeps them from drinking and, things like that. But a lot of times it doesn't work because it comes back to this thing of like trying to use a rationale to something that doesn't use that. It doesn't obey any rules. It comes back to the thing where there's mothers that would die for their kids but won't put down the needle, the bottle to do so. It doesn't follow any rules. The rules right now, the urge for me wanting to drink, it makes no sense. And you can give me I can make this pros and cons list right now. All of it's bad. I could be honest with myself that there is some pros too. Instant relief, anxiety, and the sad feelings going away. Those are pros. But the cons far outweigh it, clearly. But that doesn't matter. Because it's not, at a certain point, it's not even trying to cleverly trick you into it. It's just pure, sheer relentlessness of desire and the will and want to do it. It's just beating you down. That's all it really is. And so, I know I will reach out after this furthermore. But this is truly something that I think about this, where I tell people all the time who comment on this thing and say you've been a tremendous help, and you really have. I would like to one day have a long-term stint of sobriety and be able to dedicate that success to everybody that frequently comments or people that watch it, and especially the people that don't comment often, but every once in a while say, hey, not even that you're awesome or way to go, Dave, but just say things like, man, thank you for finally putting into words the shit that it just goes in my head all day. The insane craziness of it, I like telling stories. I like telling, the ones about paying for vodka, nickels, and change, and being the good Samaritan and letting people go in front of me. Not because I'm a good Samaritan, because I don't want to watch me count out like the dimes. We're not even talking quarters here, dude. We're talking dimes, nickels, sometimes pennies to pay for alcohol. Talking about having an alcohol monitoring bracelet and putting baloney on it to try to pass it. It fails immediately, by the way. Just all these stories, relating these things. Just, I have this tattoo on here that says, forgiveness is for anybody who wants safe passage through my mind. And I also believe that in the sense of like just compassion. Just if you want those things, just take a journey through my mind. I deal with all these exact same things that you guys struggle with. Now you fight too. And I'm in the trenches now too. This is not something me trying to have to dig far back retroactively to do so. But I feel good. I'm going to keep on this path and keep doing this thing. So this is, I guess, a sort of check-in episode. But if you are struggling right now, fuck, man, I get it. Totally get it. If you're doing well, congrats. And if you just want to see what the experience of a alcoholic or an addict is like, here it is, in the flesh.